Okay, welcome back. We're in Rome. I was hoping my brother could join us, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get him in here. You know what, let me just remove this. Alright. It's a little laggy, but that's okay. We only have an hour and 20 minutes. Wow. We're supposed to be getting this done in about that time frame, but my hope is that we'll complete it in a lot less time. Oh. I will not be showing you that. Because that was disgusting. I just finished editing a video and publishing it, actually. Queenstown to Cairns. Which means I have so much more to do. All of Africa, all of the Middle East. And here I am making more videos. Those are interesting. This is super tight on my head. Ugh. I don't know what this part of Rome is, but it's pretty packed too. What is with the lag? That's pretty cool. I like how it's like flatland a little bit and then plateaued into this valley. The lag, what the heck? In Napoli. Definitely photogrammetry. Which means we should be able to see the actual ruins of Pompeii. Right, okay, so we follow this road. And then it's gonna make a left. And then it should be directly on the left after that. Shh. That looks like ruins. There you go. That's Pompeii. So, this far from a volcano. That's amazing. This far from the volcano, all of this was turned to ash. How incredible is that? Awesome. How incredible this area is, actually, geographically. Like, it's a little bay, the volcano, and some ruins. And it said photogrammetry, no less. Like, that's awesome. Awesome, awesome. Oh, we're going the wrong way. Okay, next stop I believe is Shipwreck Bay. Now we're leaving Italy. Never to return. It's fine, we saw a lot of it. I do know this is on the southernest, almost the southernmost point of Corfu. There's no weather out here whatsoever, is there? No clouds. I think what we might do is kind of just aim for where we're going. And then follow the coast south until we pass the tip. And then head to Mount Olympus, which I'm pretty sure we can see. It's always bothered me that the reflection of the moon is bright like that. Like, obviously that's wrong. I have been looking for this for a long time. I saw it on a sailing video. Saw like how steep the cliffs were.
Altitude.
I always thought to myself, that'd be awesome to go see. I don't think this is it yet, yeah. That's it here. Interesting. I do, however, know a bit about ancient Greece because, in as much as my mom was an amateur Egyptologist, she was also kind of an amateur. What's the word? I don't think there is a word for this, but historian. Well, that might be Olympus ahead of us. Yeah, that's Mount Olympus. The supposed home of the gods. But as my friend Louis is so fond of saying, I see no god up here but me. Still interesting, isn't it? They literally put their gods up on the tallest possible thing in Greece. Maybe it's like Brigadoon. You walk there, you find it perfectly. But if you fly, you're never gonna find it. Anyway, this area is in a James Bond movie, and it's a good movie. Silly, but good. I need to look up the exact information on the battle, but it looks like that down there is Thermopylae. Strange place for a battle of such renown. Yeah, it's gonna be right there in the corner. Thermopylae. 300 Spartans held 1,000,000 Persians off here. Odd, isn't it? Or maybe it's over here. Nope, yep, right by here. That's Thermopylae. Maybe the land was far, or water was farther inland at the time or something. There's not like cliffs. It's also odd, they could have just boarded boats and crossed. You know, maybe it was propaganda. Not saying that it didn't actually happen, but seeing this place, it doesn't really feel like that was Persia's only option. Okay, we're not actually going to stop here because there's nothing to see. Okay, we're going to start our sweeping turn towards Corinth. All the while, keeping an eye on the ground because I do want to see what it looks like a little bit. Sparta. Somewhere there is a airport, LGSP Sierra Papa, which is Sparta Air Base. Might be right there. Thought about landing there. We don't have time for it, unfortunately. Oh yeah, look at this environment, man. And we're gonna do something that's probably super illegal. If you guessed it, you already know me. We'll just set that as a destination, because I don't feel like it's a little bit of a trip. A little bit farther of a trip. 28 nautical miles, but it's also, probably for the best. Look at that. That's cool.
Altitude. Altitude.
Yeah.
Altitude. Altitude.
Alright, now we book it from Magar. Or Alfessa. Ellipsis.
Altitude. Altitude.
Where's the runway? What is this? Dirt? Excuse me? Are you kidding me? You're telling me this is the runway? Why did it not look like it?
Alright. Apparently, for a large number of the flights between now and when I recorded this, I decided not to record my dialogue as I was flying. So, I don't know why. I guess I just felt like making more work for myself. So yeah, we started off in Athens, and of course we had to visit the Acropolis, which should be right here on the right. The Acropolis is home to the Parthenon. I believe it's the Parthenon. The Temple of Zeus. I might be wrong. Always wanted to go here in real life, but I haven't had the chance to visit Greece at all. So I've heard Easter on Greece is actually phenomenal. Then we're going to zoom off to Mykonos. Sorry for the sniffles, still sick. Yep, Adriatic Sea. Yeah, so Porco Rosso is probably the most famous example, but it is primarily set in the Adriatic Sea, with the exception of a few scenes, I think, in Italy. But it's not very clear what part of Italy they're in at the time, if they are, and also what part of the Adriatic they're in as well. So my guess is that it's closer to like the northern part of the Adriatic Sea as opposed to the south that we're in. So yeah, this is the Mykonos island and its surrounding neighbors, Renea, and then Delos, which, if I'm not mistaken, the sailing channel SV Delos. The boat is named after this island. So if any of you guys are watching from that crew, hello, I love your videos. This is Mykonos. Very famous because of the white buildings that are like dotting the island. But I'm pretty sure most of the islands in the Adriatic are like that, so I don't know why. I think it has to do with the limestone content of the sand or the concrete or whatever they're using to mix. But yep. Our next stop is going to be Rhodes, but it's going to take us quite a while, so... I wish I could fly more in the Adriatic. Porco Rosso especially gave me like a, kind of a, I guess a romance with this region because of the romance that it has for flying in general in the movie. I mean, it's based around the age of seaplanes, probably right around the end of World War I and going into World War II. But, you know, anybody who flies in any fashion, you know, amateur or professional, we all love flying, so anything that shows a great appreciation for flying, we also love. Yeah, here's the island that Rhodes is on. I don't know what the name of the island is, but I'm pretty sure it's Rhodes as well. Probably completely wrong, so please correct me. That's what the comments are for. I thought about landing here, but I didn't really see a point because the only thing we're really interested in is one section of it. And this is a really, really, really long flight, so... yeah, we're going to skim the southern edge, head for the eastern tip. It's not really apparent where the Colossus was, but I kind of included an image to do that. This whole area down here is Rhodes. It was really famous during, well, you know, ancient times. And the Colossus is one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, a gigantic statue. I think people are actually proposing to rebuild it, which I think is an awesome idea. Don't know how feasible it would be, but it would be really cool. And I would love to fly through the Colossus's legs. Though I'm not sure how I would feel about, you know, being in a boat going between the legs. That might be a little, not safe for work. So yeah, we took a left, headed northwest, up the coast of Turkey. And, this is actually a really long flight, to be honest. I've flown over Turkey a couple times. The last time I did a world tour, actually, I flew from Jerusalem up to Istanbul. So, this is kind of the opposite. Not really the opposite, but a different way to the same route, I guess. Our first stop, though, is another ancient site. This whole region of the world is famous for its history, so I figured, like, why not try and find all these different places? You know? Well, one of the most famous stories about Greece, aside from the Spartans in Thermopylae, is the Trojan War. So, what better way to explore that than to go find Troy? If anybody's not really clear on, like, any of these stories that I'm talking about, because I don't know, it might be just me and my family that knew all about these things, but, you know, if any of this needs to be explained further, then please let me know and I'll include more information. That's it actually right there on the right. Our shadow passes over the tip of it. It's the Troy National Park, which, as far as I could tell, it was the best candidate for Troy. Maybe not the actual location, but the supposed actual location. And because I'm not an archaeologist, I don't know much more than that. But yeah, we're gonna head up the Sea of Marmara, I think it's called, or Marmara. Be a good point to pull up Google Maps, wouldn't it? Sea of Marmara. Yep. Heading towards Istanbul. Now, I thought at first that Istanbul was one of the biggest cities in the world. But it is, but not as high up as I thought it was. It's strange because when you look up biggest cities in the world, or largest cities in the world, it shows up as like one of the largest outside of China, like either the first or the second largest outside of China. But then you look at it on Wikipedia, and it's probably like 15th or something like that. So I didn't really know. Yeah, it was an interesting landing. There was a bit of a crosswind, but nothing too bad. And I think about this time in the flight, I was pretty much pretty much ready to call it quits. So I took a little bathroom break and decided I was going to make the last leg to Bulgaria. I don't really know a lot about Istanbul, to be honest. It wasn't even until this flight that I realized that Constantinople, which I did know a little bit about from history classes, was actually the same location. I know that two very powerful empires called this place home at some point or another. The Byzantine Empire and the Ottoman Empire, which I think lasted until like 1920s, somewhere in there. And you know, all four entities. Oh yeah, by the way, that is down below a mosque from the Byzantine Empire era. And if you look up images of Istanbul, that's actually one of the most prominently featured images. But I mean, Turkey, Byzantine Empire, Constantinople, and the Ottoman Empire all called this their capital, and it makes sense because like of the location. It's at the mouth of the Black Sea and the Sea of Marmara, so like perfect location, honestly. And you know, that bridge right there connects literally the Middle East and Europe, essentially. So really interesting. But yeah, this is the Black Sea on the right, which you know is a location of a lot of things, but one of my favorite movies, The World Is Not Enough, is set in this location. But it's actually a really important place, I guess you could say. On one side is Ukraine and the Crimean Peninsula, and Bulgaria, and Turkey, and on the other side is Russia. So that's probably, you know, why that James Bond movie is set there. But yeah, here we are above Bulgaria. It looks a little clouded, or fogged in, or clouded. There's some kind of weather event going up ahead. And we're going to have to deal with that when we come into land. But since it had been so long that I've been flying, I was pretty much ready to call it quits for the day. And decided I was going to try to land no matter what, so. But Bulgaria is interesting. I used to know a girl from here, and she told me that the literacy rate is higher than the United States. And I didn't believe her at first because, you know, as somebody who has spent time in the United States, I wanted to believe that. Yeah, welcome to Sofia, by the way. Fogged in completely. But I wanted to believe that the United States wasn't as dumb as that. But, you know, then I looked it up myself, and it's like 97% literacy rate for Bulgaria and 79% for the United States. And, you know, having lived in the United States for a little bit now, I can completely believe that. So, I always wanted to come here just to see what it's like. A lot of parts of this world that I'm interested in visiting just because it's foreign to me. You know, we get glimpses of it in movies set in the 90s during like those conflicts that took place in these regions, and it's always full of like a certain level of mystery and like spectacle, and I think that's something that I would like to witness firsthand. It's probably not as glamorous as I'm making it out to be, but no place on earth is. So, but yeah, as you can see, it's definitely IFR conditions. I'm following the ILS all the way in, hoping to God that I will be able to see the runway before. And I think at this point I can see the lights up ahead, so I know I'm pointing in the right direction and that I'm gonna be able to hit it the right way. So I think if I had gotten any closer and I still hadn't seen the lights, I would have given up. The fog seems to be kind of lighter around here than it is in other places. Maybe even up higher. Maybe the fog's lifting. But there it is. There's the runway. And I'm really proud of myself for this landing, which you will see in a matter of seconds. Oof. Right? Right? See, nose gear still in the air, and then it comes down. Yeah. I mean, you know, what do you expect? I've been flying this for like the same aircraft for like 150 to 200 hours in VR alone throughout the world in a variety of conditions, live weather the whole time. I don't have as many like nighttime hours as I should, but you know, I got enough. But anyway, that's all for this. I have more videos to edit, but I'm catching back up, so stay tuned and have a good day.